How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of a new brewery time. In the form of Bear Bottling Company. This be their Kinetic Kush Hazy IPA. Never had beers from these guys before. This comes courtesy of my boy Mike. He put a little Tavor box together for me. Shipped it off. Here we are. This was canned a little bit over a month ago. On the bottom it says, this beer's got potential. It says, get abducted by notes of mysterious mango, ghostly guava, and intensified tropical fruit. These guys are based at the San Francisco Barebottle Brewing Company. And this is, oh, they actually put almost like a home, the brewer's recipe. They actually put a recipe over there for a 5-gallon batch of that beer. I kind of dig that. And they're talking about 2-row, white wheat, flaked oats, malted rye. Ooh, it's a rye IPA. Okay. It's only 3% of the grist, or 6% from the flaked rye to the malted rye, so it's not huge. It's 77% 2-row malt. So your wheat and your flaked oats for mouthfeel. And it's got a bunch of experimental hops in here. One experimental hop. Okay, HBC 586, but they break it down at what percentage at what time. An Endaboya Whirlpool and double dry hop addition. I like that. I like everything they're doing on this beer. I dig that. They're throwing a recipe out there. They're giving you timing on it. It's kind of a fun thing, especially if you're a home brewer and you want to kind of duplicate this. So I cracked it, but I can't see the beer yet. So you're talking about, I'm guessing this beer is going to come off hazy, slightly darker than what we'd expect from a 6-inch change. I want to say this beer is, where is the ABV? Oh, 5.8. So it's not a big beer at all. But with just that little bit of rye in there, it's just going to have a little bit more orange than we come to expect. A little bit of clear on the pour. It's going to be a hazy beer, but it's not like turbid haze. Not a ton of flaked oats, not a ton of wheat in there. And it definitely, I would say this, it's slightly darker, and you're going to be like, what are you talking about, dude? They'll be like, that thing is pretty light. It is until you realize how clear it is. It's not a clear beer, but you can absolutely, there's no way you will not be able to see my finger going through there. So with how clear it is, it's got just a touch more kind of color to it. I assume that's the rye kind of coming off there. Label-wise, it's cool. It's kind of what I do here. I start all my videos massive beer review. People get angry at that. And I would assume this beer would be called Bear. No, it's the actual brewery's called Barebottle. So they put their name on it pretty huge. And then they throw the little title of the beer up there. So, yeah, I can get down with that. I understand what they're doing. So, yeah. I mean, it looks the part of a really nice chuggable hazy. Let's get a nose. Not a gigantic nose. I thought this was a little bit bigger of a beer. But it's pretty much citrus forward. They talk about, guava, tropical fruits. I can get the generic kind of tropical fruit thing. Guava is usually pretty powerful. It's mainly just a soft citrus on the nose for me. Nothing as far as huge sweetness or anything like that. Just a really summer-like, really bright and just chuggable, drinkable, summertime vibing kind of little pale hazy. Let's dive in. Cheers. Ooh. I like this. I like this a lot. I get that guava thing, man. No, it does come through in the taste. There's a beefier version of a tropical fruit in here. So it's not so much on the nose that it has that tropical fruit in the nose, albeit a bit generic. Soft little citrus vibes, a little grapefruit, a little pineapple. The other side of things, it'll lack that guava on the nose when you taste it. You definitely get that guava thing. It's not huge, it's not over the top, but it's prominent. And once you do that, then it definitely leans in a little bit more tropical fruit realm. There's a really nice sweetness to it. I kind of assumed the rye was in there for like a twist on the malt base. It's not big. It's 6% of the grist. But I'm like, okay, maybe I just want to go with a little bit maltier mouthfeel on it. I didn't know. I actually think what they're doing here is they want to add a little tiny bit of spiciness to the grist that makes you think there's a little bit of spiciness in the hop that adds a little bit of kind of bittering balance, bittering spiciness. Like you can get some rye-like kind of spiciness from hops, especially old school kind of European English style hops. And I don't think with the rye being that small, I think it's just adding just a touch to kind of act as like a prop up for a little bit of bittering on this beer. Just add a little bit of balance. That's my guess after tasting it, because I didn't think that's what it was going to be at the get, and I think it's worked here because you get this nice kind of soft little spiciness that's not all that aggressive, so it acts as like the counterbalance that you normally would get an aggressive bittering or green or pine or something like that from a West Coast IPA. So think like West Coast IPA, but instead of piney, just a soft spiciness, which you could get with like old school hops. But if you're doing this kind of single hop edition, I don't think you're going to get there and get that tropical fruit you're getting from this. You have to do it this way, which I think is kind of unique because I don't think I've ever really had somebody do it that way. And again, this is just me throwing shit at the wall, hoping it sticks, kind of speculation on that. But this is a fun beer. This is a really fun beer. You're talking about sub 6%. I gotta reread that, make sure I'm right. I think it's sub 6 because the font's really weird, but no, it could be 6.8. Or it could be 5.8. You'd see it right there next to my finger. I'm almost positive it's 5.8. And it drinks like 5.8, so I hope it is 5.8. This is really good. Like, really good. Like, really good. Like, I'm like, okay, that area between 5 and 6%, which is like, I love hazy pales in that area. This is one of the better ones I've had. I mean, the way that tropical fruit kind of shows up after that guava kicks in, but you still get that kind of citrus pineapple thing, and you get a little spiciness from the rye. Really, really nice, soft, drinkable mouthfeel. Not water nerdy level, but really nice. It's a really tasty beer. And it is, let's cut to that taste, it is one of the better ones I've had, especially in that 5 to 6% range. It's up there with the best of the best. The Canes, Sneak Box of the world, those kind of beers. A bit different than those, the way it comes off tropical and that little spiciness, but Mount Rushmore status, let's put it that way. Value and availability, Devore it came from, so you should be able to get it, at least from that service when it comes out. Price is the thing I really want to know. This is kind of a beating dead horse thing I'm doing on these beers. I really, really want to know what this beer cost in and around the brewery or at the brewery, and what it costs in for, to kind of get an idea of the price differences on these beers, and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like super chuggers, really well done, new school, chuggable hazy pale, you're gonna be hard pressed to find something infinitely better than this, even moderately better than this. This is really good stuff. Like I said, month old, holding up well, winner. So there you go. Thank you very much, dude, for sending this off. This is very cool. Down there, if you want to talk about it, Massive Beers. If you want to check me out, then the social media stuff, Beer Massif. If you want to check me out, do the whole podcasting thing, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of beer right now. Hope we'll see you next time. Cheers.